Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew or Stalli111 and welcome to Stalli's Teabreak. Today we are talking about Warframe. It's a free-to-play game that has recently had a massive update, and I'm joined with I'd say a big fan of the Warframe game. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm CaedoGenesis. Hello! I do a lot of Bethesda content, but one of my secret games are Warframe. And I've been playing the crap out of it since probably when it first hit open beta, or close to it. Whatever, update 14, I think, or something like that, when Zephyr came out.
Didn't know that you're that early on.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Well, as you know, I tried it out when it first went out to the public, but then I drifted apart. But over the summer, I recently got back into it. It's a pretty good game, but we're going to be talking a little bit about Warframe overall a little bit later on, because I did originally make a video essay that never got released, but I'm going to bring up a few points about how Warframe is good and bad, and well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, we're going to be talking about the newest update, Plains of Eidolon, which is, I think, the biggest update they've had so far.
Yeah,
right,
biggest ever.
Yeah,
in their own words.
It's a pretty big. I think it was it 5 gigs or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, most updates are maybe 100, 200 megabytes. And then there's the bigger ones now and again, but this is the biggest they've had so far, and it introduces an open world aspect or exploration. It very much, just an opinion here, but it feels very much like Destiny, or Destiny really feels a lot like Warframe, and now Warframe is now open world, so the comparison is there's
endless comparisons between the games.
Yeah,
but it's more like I guess more like an open zone kind of thing, because you have to go to Earth to get there. But it is a really cool.
Well,
new.
Not necessarily. You could just go straight from your ship, but you have to go to Earth to get the the bounties or the missions. You could just go and explore and hunt down the Eidolon, but to do the actual missions, you have to go via. I can't remember the name of the outpost. I want to say it starts with a K.
Cetus?
Or a C. Something like that.
It's called Cetus, yeah.
Right. He knows a lot more than I do. Or is much more observing.
I don't know. I spent the last couple days on it, so it's more fresh. After finishing up the Shadow Mordor thing that I told you about.
Have you got the new Warframe yet?
I don't. That's actually what I've been working on today. It's doing the bounties. Okay. I just got Gara is the new Warframe. Yeah. It's that glass
lady.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think of Plains of Eidolon so far?
I like it. I like the direction that they're going with it, because like they've been trying. It seems to have been trying to implement just things that players are drawn to in their game, more so than just, you know, sticking to form and being like, oh, this just works, we'll just do that, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They have to do something different just about every time they do a big update like this. And this one in particular, like, hit a lot of people in the right spot, because initially all of the maps were just tile sets that were randomized. And when you get an open area like this, there's a lot of possibility for, like, I don't know, exploration for one, and that presses a lot of buttons for me, alongside opportunities to do other things, like, you know, fishing, and have like an actual community that the player can go back to in the same zone.
One of my biggest problems with Warframe when I originally started playing, I want to say 4 years ago or something like that, back in 2013, 14, it was around that time.
It's been too long.
Long time ago. It's been too long. Was because I felt like I was doing the same mission over and over again. Like, it was just the same mission, but in a different order, because I recognized, going through this air vent, this specific air vent, or going through this tunnel, but I went through the air vent first this time rather than last, or something like that. But now they've implemented a lot more, variables, I guess.
Yeah. Well, back then too, they had like 3 tile sets.
Yeah, like, it was ridiculously repetitive, but it still is a little bit repetitive if you're grinding or you're trying to get special drops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens with every game like this.
But that's part of it.
Part of the charm of
Yeah.
Warframe. But it's improved vastly. Like jumping from back then, my memories of it, and then jumping, and I want to say I started again in June. Brilliant. Like, it was just after the Chains of Harrow started, and I loved the jump. They've been working at it, and from what I've heard from you and other fans, they've really been like listening to what the people are wanting, and
at a surprising level too. It's not just
Yeah.
it's not just, oh, they listen to their fans. It's, oh, they like actually involve their fans. Like you'll see like the TennoGen stuff. Like most of the TennoGen stuff are, you know, made by the community and then curated by the E, and then sold on the Steam workshop. Like there's not many games that do that to that level of you know, care, I guess,
Yeah.
with what their community is up to. And they also have the community managers doing their broadcast every couple weeks alongside the dev stream, which is cool too.
So, what would you say is the most attractive thing, other than exploration again, I guess, what's the most attractive thing of Plains of Eidolon, or the concept of having expansions like this, perhaps more of in the future, for you, as a Warframe fan?
Besides exploration, I mean, that's just the main thing for me.
Yeah.
But
That's understandable.
the opportunity for more different kinds of gear, because you'll notice in when you go to Cetus also, for those that decide to play, there's several vendors in the bazaar that's there, and they can take, you know, the raw materials that you get out in the plains, and you can swap them out for reputation with them and get other stuff from them. But there's also the gentleman that sells you parts to make custom weapons. Like there's sets of blades, there's sets of handles, and I'm sure there's sets of other things for combining sake. And you can make your own weapon. That they're turning that into an actual system in the game.
I've not actually talked to anybody apart from the main guy who gives you out bounties. So this is new to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like it was just built up because there might be some quest later on they're going to add to it, but I guess not. I guess there is.
Yeah, most of the vendors there are involved with the factions that you work for, like through the bounties and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
But also, since they reworked the focus system with the operators, you have to have the operator available to hunt down the Eidolon, which is the big, you know, what this whole thing is
because you
revolving
can't get
around.
past the shield.
And you have to like bust out an operator mode to like laser it down, and then you can actually do damage to it. We got to that point and they got slaughtered. It was great.
I had my troubles with Eidolon. Got it past the shield, and then all of a sudden our team just started getting fucked over.
Yeah, that's
so we just sort of had to abandon ship.
Yeah, kind of what happened to us too. But yeah, everybody in the market has something that they can trade to you for like your efforts out in the plains. Like you go fishing, bring back fish to the fish lady. She can fillet them for you, which, you know, gives you all these natural resources or other resources. Or you can just give her all the fish, and she will give you reputation to get more stuff to be more effective at gathering more things. So
again, I've not actually been fishing in the Plains of Eidolon, so maybe we'll take a fishing trip after this.
We should actually. I'll show you the best spots that I found so far.
Going out in a wee boat with a couple of burskies.
Yeah. Yes. Couple fishing spears and maybe some dynamite.
Just some high voltage battery packs.
Yeah.
Just to electrocute the whole lake.
I did want to say too, since the enemies don't really spawn in per se, like they can spawn in like way away from you, but how the enemies show up in a lot of the missions is they come in on drop ships.
Yeah.
If you have a weapon called the Opticore, it is amazing for anti-air. I just wanted to say that really quick.
I actually used Soma Prime, which is free if you've got Twitch Prime right now.
There you go. You can do that too.
Nice plug for Twitch. Not even getting paid, but hey. Yeah, I used the Soma Prime, and it was a fairly long amount of time, but I did eventually kill the dropship.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, after they dropped all the enemies out. But I still got 700 XP or affinity, so it's still something out of it.
Yeah, I would say though, like if you get the proper angle with the Opticore, it'll one shot the ships. So it's definitely.
I've not used the Opticore.
It's a BFG. It's the BFG of Warframe.
Right. Sounds nice.
It's a lovely gun.
Is it basically just a rocket launcher sort of deal?
It's a beam weapon. It's just a weapon you charge up, and it fires at max charge. You can also fire it at half charge for probably like half damage.
Right. Okay. So I've got a few qualms with Plains of Eidolon. A few issues. They're very, very small. Don't worry.
It's the worst game.
Yes. 0 to 10. IGN would never play again.
Right.
I've really enjoyed it. I have not played loads and loads. I played a few hours in Eidolon or Plains of Eidolon. I'm not quite getting it. Is it a place that is the Plains of Eidolon, or is it the plains that are owned to this beast called Eidolon? Or I'm not quite getting what it is yet.
Well, it's basically in the Cetus area, but it's on Earth, on the Earth node.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really know what you would call it either. The plains themselves though is that wide open zone that we go to.
Yeah. Anyway, so in the trailer for it, and I believe in the gameplay that was released by the Warframe YouTube channel,
mm-hmm.
they had this is bad. I can't remember the name of them. But how you get the flying...
Oh, the Arcwing?
The Arcwing, that's what it is.
Yes.
Not being able to do that, and that would be very useful to...
yes.
Go around the whole plains, or even hunting down the Eidolon.
There's a little trick to that, and I had to have it explained to me from my wonderful community on my Discord.
Right, am I just dumb?
No. There's some things in Warframe, and a lot of Warframe players will tell you too, that isn't explained at all, that you just have to figure out. And you get an addition, I guess you call it an addition. It's something you research in your dojo.
Right.
It's a clan tech where it allows you to drop in your Arcwing for like terrestrial travel, because normally you can't do that. So it drops in your Arcwing as like an airdrop, and then you can fly around in it as long as you don't get hit. If you get hit, you get knocked out of the air.
Can I get it back?
Yes.
If I get hit?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's got, I think you build one that has like 50 chargers or something like that, and you bring them with you in your gear slot. So you can drop them in as many times as you want, basically.
Does our dojo have the capabilities yet?
Yours? Or are you in mine?
No, like you like the one I'm in with you.
Yes. I'm actually
okay.
I have it researching right now. So.
Right. How long is it?
It's like 3 days.
Right. Okay. Best get on that after this.
But I had
So this has turned into a bit of a casual conversation now, but that's fine. Yeah. So I'll probably get onto that.
Yeah, I actually had somebody else in my squad earlier today, like a couple hours ago, actually, from my viewers. And he was like, "Oh, I just had mine built. You want to try it? Because you can drop it in for other people too."
All right, so I could use yours.
Yeah. So I could have it drop in, and then instead of me grabbing it, because you just walk up to it and you grab it, I could just let you walk into it, and then you'd get your Arcwing. So
I'd be able to use your far superior weapons.
No, you actually get the weapons. You get the regular weapons from your loadout on the Arcwing instead of the Arcwing weapons, and it uses your Arcwing instead of mine.
Well, it's made me a little sad.
If only. But you do get to use the Arcwing's abilities, which is really cool. So,
right, yeah.
So you get the Archwing's abilities, but you have your terrestrial weapons on you.
Okay. Well, another complaint was I felt after this update, I don't know if it is, but the camera has been moved very far forward, and I don't think I can change it in the settings. It feels like very claustrophobic. Like the camera should be further back.
Really?
Have you noticed that?
No. Yeah. Well, I usually play at like 70 something field of view. Was your field of view changed, do you think?
I couldn't find the field of view on the actual.
I know for a fact there's an option in there, but
right, okay. But
I noticed some of my settings were actually switched back, so
maybe it was that.
It might have,
or it could be just in the Plains of Eidolon, like the whole place. I've not actually since the update. I've not played anything but the new area.
Right.
So I don't know if it's different because of there, but I guess not when you're saying that you've not noticed any difference. So
yeah.
maybe my settings were just changed. Other than that, don't really have many complaints now.
my
You've sort of
the channeling toggle for me was turned back off, because I wanted when you channel with your melee weapon, you can either hold down the mouse button, which will probably wound your figure after a while, or you can just have it toggle, so you just have to click once, and then run around, vaporize things with your melee weapon. It's pretty neat. But that's the only thing I noticed that was changed back to default.
I would I'd like if there was more actual missions in that area.
Yeah, and I feel like there will
at the moment
too.
it just feels hopefully there is. Maybe they just released it a little bit early because people were getting anxious for it, so they just released it with the bounties.
They themselves were probably pretty anxious too.
Yeah, it's a big deal
because Steve, especially the I don't know what you would call him, the director, or I guess but like just about every time that right before they did a major update, or they were like TennoCon revealing something or something like that, he'd be like, I really hope everybody likes this, I'm so excited. Kind of thing. And I love seeing that too. That's probably one of my favorite things to see developers do.
Well, the Warframe team has been pretty good like that. They've been pretty excited about their own stuff because they think that they've done the right thing for the community, and well, I'd say it's pulled off. They've got the community on board on all fronts pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And this, to me, is probably one of the better launches I've seen too. I think I remember was it the Second Dream? The Second Dream was a huge one. But when they did I think the War Within, which is the one with the Twin Queens, that one wasn't received as well.
Really? Okay.
Partially because the Kuva Fortress is just a mess to navigate.
Yeah, I guess. There is that.
Like that was one of the main frustrations for me, and it's so dark. Like you don't have like your Warframe flashlight out, so you're like kind of like wandering around these dark holes trying to figure out the right corridor to go down to actually leave.
The War Within was the Operator one, right?
That was the Second Dream.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that was the big one. That was the one where everybody was like, "Do not spoil it for yourself. You are going to want to play this mission," kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I was on a call on Discord with one of my friends who I'll probably bring up later in the video, but he was playing the Second Dream, and he was just saying, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Like, I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, shut up." He just kept on basically having orgasms. Verbal orgasms.
Yep. That's kind of what
I was a little bit disappointed because he sounded so goddamn happy, and I was just like, it's cool, but orgasmic? Not sure about that. Like, I like feeling powerful.
Yeah.
And you certainly do.
Yeah.
But I feel like he maybe lifted it above what it is.
Yeah, I think part of it
far.
is too like after you pour so much time into the game thinking it's a certain way, and then having that revealed that it's this way, you're just like, oh my god, oh wow, kind of thing. So it also depends greatly on how much you've invested into the game itself.
Well, for a long time, I think this is the same with many Warframe players. I thought it was just like an Iron Man situation where there was somebody inside the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But spoilers, it's not.
Uh-oh. I don't think you should spoil too much, though.
Yeah, we're getting into too much territory here.
Danger.
But if you've not played Warframe, I definitely recommend it. It's a free-to-play game on Steam, and you can get it in browser, but it just downloads a client, blah, blah, blah. Very good game, and it's free, so yeah, get it. You don't have an excuse not to get it, unless you don't have 20 gigs free on your hard drive.
Yeah, and also, it's probably one of the best optimized free-to-play games I've ever played, too.
That's what we're going to go on to talk about now.
Oh, fun.
Warframe is good. So, if there was one thing to persuade somebody, perhaps a viewer right now, who has not played Warframe, what would you say to them as a long-term Warframe fan or player?
Do you like being a space ninja? No, it'd be more like, do you like third-person action games? And if so, why haven't you played Warframe?
It's...
Think like... I usually do a comparison of like... Because I haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda, I'd say Mass Effect 3 combat mixed with Devil May Cry. Boom, Warframe. Oh yeah, put it in space. There you go, Warframe.
It's very entertaining. There is an aspect of repetitiveness, but it completely depends on how you want to play it. If you just want to play it and you just want to complete every mission and not go back and try and get all the best loot, go for it. You can play like that. You can just play through every level, play through every mission. You're not going to get much repetitiveness, but there's a warning. You're not going to get the best stuff. You're going to miss out on... Well, I think there's not actually a way to get Prime Gear without grinding or getting the Twitch Prime Gear.
True.
But, or paying, of course. You can pay for it. If you've got the extra money, just throw some money at the game.
Right.
But I've personally not thrown any money at all. And I've enjoyed it loads. I've got, I want to say 200 hours in. It's probably, on Steam it says 200 hours, but I think it's a lot less because it's a launcher deal. But I'm not slowing down. I had a little bit of a slowdown at the end of last month, and I didn't play it for a bit, but I was sort of waiting because I knew there was a big thing coming, so I wanted to pace myself, and then Plains of Eidolon came along, so I'm playing it again. In dribs and drabs because I've got lots of other games to play and lots of other things to do, university, etc. These videos. But yeah, definitely recommend it. It's a point that I made in the video that I never released was it was a bit of a grind that keeps on giving, and a lot of grinds don't always do that.
Yeah,
a lot of I can see that with Destiny. It's a grind, but sometimes it's not really fulfilling.
Did you play the open beta of Destiny also?
I did.
Destiny 2?
I did.
I played those missions and it felt much more like a chore than on Warframe. And possibly it could have been to do with the lack of variety that I was so used to in Warframe. And then moving over to Destiny 2, I was just like, pick up gun, shoot an alien. Good.
Yeah.
Done did it.
Mission complete.
Use your specials sometimes.
Yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan of, like, it definitely feels a million times better on keyboard and mouse. It felt terrible as a console game. It felt very clunky and slow. Destiny 1.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It should have been on PC. Like, it was not a controller game. They could have made it a controller game, but they made it feel a lot slower and a bit clunkier. The combat, like, even even on PC, on max sensitivity, I was like, why can't I move faster? Why can't I turn faster? Like, this is so slow. So, it's probably the sensitivity issue. If they made it a lot, like, I guess there's also the complaint that it could end up being too twitchy and too much like a Call of Duty game, but
the
it just
floaty
feels
double
rather
jump
slow.
too, for sure.
Yeah,
That drove me nuts. After playing a game that you're so like freely parkoury, and then running this game where you hit your jump button a second time and you're just kind of floating sideways. You can barely steer yourself and you fall off an edge. Not cool.
I mean, that's sort of like Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Yeah,
it's got that floaty-esque.
I couldn't get through that game.
Man, I don't care what people say about pre-sequel. It's not anywhere near as good as 2, but it's still decent.
Yeah,
you know? It's not a bad game. It's not terrible. It's not made by Gearbox. It's made by 2K Australia. So don't give Gearbox the shit for it. Anyway, back on Warframe. I'm trying to remember what I actually said. What was the quote I made?
Maybe I could try to group up with you for the pre-sequel. See if I can finish it.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah. You could probably play it again. It's a pretty good game. Well, compared to most games, it's above average.
Right.
What was it I said? This is annoying me. I'll find it. I'll find the quote.
Okay.
I have it written down somewhere because I wrote a script for the video. But I felt it perfectly summed up.
I feel like you should have just released it.
I didn't feel it was good enough.
You can't be so apprehensive. Because that skill up guy just like capitalized on, oh my goodness, Warframe.
All right, maybe it wasn't as good as I remember. I think I've already said it actually. The rewarding grind.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry, anticlimactic moment. But yeah, it definitely feels very rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, I've not paid a single penny into it, and I've got, Steam says I've got 200 hours. I'd probably say I've got 120, 130.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of time where I'm just in the menus or fiddling about, but actual gameplay 120.
Yeah. You can check your profile in game too. Yeah,
there is that. But my friend, the same guy that I was talking about earlier, this is a call forward here. I don't want to reveal his identity or anything, and I'm not 100% sure how much he spent. But I want to say it was it was about £250.
Yeah.
And he restarted at the same time as I did, and he stopped earlier than I did because he was feeling a little bit more worn out. He has roughly the same, I think he has a little bit more game time than I have, and he's slightly higher level, but he bought into all these primes and whatever, bought a lot of platinum, blah blah blah. So it's not necessarily going to make your experience more enjoyable if you go out and buy stuff. This is for free to play, the whole free to play genre.
Yep.
I'm just like talking as general. It's not just pay to win. Like I absolutely despise microtransactions. I am very anti microtransactions and pay to win. The whole mobile market, I'm anti mobile games.
Yep.
Because a lot of like pretty respectable game developers have gone into mobile games because there's a large market from getting a shit ton of money.
Because you can be scummy and nobody seems to care.
I'm pretty sure Konami are only doing Pro Evolution Soccer.
You said a bad word.
I said Konami. I'm gonna have to get censor noises here now. Konami are only completing Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear Survive, and then that's the last game they're ever going to make, apart from Pro Evolution Soccer, and the rest are going to be not games. They're going to be mobile shit.
Or pachinko.
Yeah, pachinko. So many iterations of pachinko. which I feel so wrong. Like, you're the studio that's like the reason that Metal Gear Solid is like one of the greatest games of all time, series is of all time, but you're going to shitty mobile games because there's a market for it.
Yep.
And you people are fucking idiots. If you don't pay money on phone apps or any app at all, like microtransactions, etc., you're not an idiot. I retract it.
Easily.
You're a good boy, good girl, whatever. But if you do, fuck you. You're ruining gaming.
He could easily turn this into a Konami rant.
Yes.
It's going to turn around so quickly.
Warframe, actually about shitting all over Konami.
Great plan.
But yeah.
You laid that trap.
Hopefully there's views in it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, right. Warframe.
Yes.
Back on topic.
Yeah.
So overall, in free-to-play games, it doesn't mean like you pay $100, you're not gonna win, or you might. Is my microphone? No. Okay, it says my microphone is picking up more audio for some reason. Never mind. Yeah. So I definitely don't think you should jump in and say, okay, here's $100. Have a lot of fun with it. I think you should play it normally, like I have, and just play it until you feel necessary to get platinum. I feel like I might get some platinum now. I played a lot of the game, and I feel like I sort of owe them a little bit.
Yeah.
They've definitely created a great game, but again, it's sort of my own morals I'm going against if I go into microtransactions.
It's getting into that habit, or getting out of that habit,
I don't want to. Yeah. But I might get some platinum purely to get me some. I'd get enough for 4 weapon slots and a Warframe slot, just to keep me happy for the next 100 hours.
Right. And you didn't mention the trading system though yet, did you?
No, I've not mentioned the trading system.
You can trade with other players.
This is very unique.
Yeah, you can get platinum.
I'd say it's very unique. I don't think I've ever played a free-to-play game or heard about a free-to-play game that has this element. Would you like to explain it? Because I've been talking an awful lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, prime equipment is what the players like to go for most of the time. Because
sort of exclusive stuff, like premium.
Not really exclusive or premium, just more the better variant.
Special.
The better variant of things. So say you want to get a Prime Warframe, say you want to go get Nova Prime. You're just like, okay, well, I have to go do these void missions to go get Nova Prime parts. Of course, it's just a chance to get them. But if you happen to continue farming for Nova and get extra Nova Prime parts, you can trade those to other players for platinum. They can give you platinum for those Prime parts. And that's premium currency. You can spend that on anything in the market, basically. Or just trade it to other players for other stuff you need. It's one of the very few games where I've seen the economy work so well in that sense, because the developers allow it. Instead of being like, no, you have to pay money to get item slots. No, you can just trade with another player and they can get more item slots. Like, it's a lot better in that sense to me. Than
like if you're willing to put in the time to say you've got extra relics. Say I can't remember the name of them actually, but say it was a bronze relic. I just know that there's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, I guess.
Yep.
But anyway, they've got their fancy names. So you've got a ton of bronze relics for a certain I can't remember exactly, V5 or whatever.
Yep.
Could be wrong. And you've got all of the say it was Chroma Prime. I don't actually know if there's a Chroma Prime.
There is not yet, but there. Okay. I hope there is someday.
Let's go for Mag Prime then. I know there's a Mag Prime because that's what I'm using at the moment.
Yes.
You go for a Mag Prime, or you've already got yourself a Mag Prime. You're in the same situation as I have, but you've also got a ton of relics that have their biggest prime. The best thing you can get out of that relic is Mag Prime stuff. So you could use those relics on specific missions and have a chance to get them, and then you'd have enough to get another one. So you could sell it on the market for whatever price you'd want for them.
Yeah, and you can sell full sets.
It's more demand. If there's a high demand for certain things at the time, they're going to be more expensive. Or if something's new in the market. Yeah,
there's this thing called the Prime Vault too, which is where the developers put something away for a while, which could be a Prime Warframe and a couple Prime weapons. So I don't remember which one's currently vaulted. It could be Rhino right now, Rhino Prime, maybe Ember Prime. But
Hydroid is the one that's out at the moment.
Yeah,
I think.
But these are the ones that aren't available at all. You can't even get relics for them right now. But the people that do have relics for them can go and get those parts and then sell them for extreme amounts of platinum because they can't be obtained right now. So just playing the market that way, just by so on to relics.
So you could get yourself a full set and then another full set. Use one set for yourself, and then another set you could just sell off when the time is right, and you could get a shit ton of platinum.
Yeah, you get
which
500.
Could help you get whatever else you want.
Yeah, if you get 500 and then buy a whole Warframe that comes out, if you wanted to go that route,
not any more grind.
I would highly recommend item slots instead.
I'm the same. I've not spent any platinum at all on anything bar slots.
Yeah. And that's
because they're just so useful.
Yeah, either item slots or catalysts or reactors for extending mod slots.
Yeah,
in Warframes and stuff. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of things you can do and get. There's no major barrier of entry except time for Warframe. I don't think.
So basically what we're trying to say is we couldn't recommend Warframe enough because you don't I've spent so much time in the game and I've not had to spend a single penny. Sure, there has been help from a friend, not in this call at all.
Huh? Yeah.
Helping me out. You've helped me out a bit.
Yeah, I guess.
He got me a Warframe slot. But yeah, without that, sure, I'd still be fine. You can handle it without having to pay for any stuff. You just need to put that in the extra time, or if you don't want to, you can delete or once you've maxed out your Warframe, and you've got another one ready to build. You can build it, and then when you have it completed, just ditch the last one and bring in the new one.
Yep, that's a good way to do it too.
But I only have one at the moment which I'm willing to get rid of. The rest are... And it's strange enough, it's Limbo, but Limbo can't be regained.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying. I wish I could put Limbo away in a vault where I can't use it for a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah.
And I could bring in someone else, because Limbo might get an overhaul ways down the line.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he might,
that's right.
be less squishy, because he's very squishy at the moment.
Yeah. He's I don't know. He did get a rework, I think, recently.
All right.
But I could not get myself to continue playing Limbo just because of how weak he feels.
Yeah, it just feels like you die instantly.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay really to be a glass cannon. Don't get me wrong.
I really like the is it the void he goes into?
Yeah.
No, it's just Limbo. It's just Limbo he goes
the Rift,
into.
Basically.
The Rift.
Yeah.
I really like the aesthetic of everything, like the artsiness of inside the Rift.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of cell shaded stuff.
Yeah. That's kind of what it looks like.
That's the only benefit of Limbo. The rest of him is pretty shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have high stats. He's just got a cool visual.
I don't think you really mentioned the variety of Warframes you can get too.
Go for it.
Is it okay? So in any other MMO type game, you have you have healer, damage, tank, and you have those, but you also have a variety in between.
You have weird squid monster.
Yeah.
You've got weird the Sound Lady.
Yeah, Octavia. Wow, they developed an entire system just around that stupid Warframe. I call her stupid, but she's.
There's a pretty interesting. Like I quite like the quest line for her.
Yeah, but the thing with Octavia is you can make your own song, and that song plays with your abilities. It's kind of crazy.
And you can also buy some actual songs, and it plays as well.
Yeah,
like I think I saw Dorothy Sandstorm.
Yep. You can actually send other players your songs. But also they have so you got your stealth frames. You've got of course your tanky frames, which is like Rhino and Chroma and who else?
Frost is a little bit.
Valkyr. What's that?
Frost is a little bit tanky.
Frost is tanky.
He's quite a beef.
He's also defensive frame. He's one of the very few that can actually fully defend something.
He's definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
and I got him for free.
Yeah, oh, that's
Thanks,
right.
Twitch again.
And his deluxe skin makes him look like a friggin' Norse god, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then like they all have they're thematically kind of different too, because like you have Hydroid, which is the tentacle frame, or the pirate frame. So you could be a space ninja pirate if you want to.
Yeah.
Then you have like Mesa, which is the gunslinger.
Isn't there another one that's got tentacles? It's more of like a sluggy, tentacly, like.
Oh, Nidus?
I think so. Yeah.
That's the infested Warframe. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He's a little bit different in that sense. That he's well, they are similar, but Nidus kind of pulls everybody into one point, and then destroys them with his first ability.
Right.
And has his own mechanic too. He's got a mutation meter. Let's see. I was going around. Stealth, tank, damage dealer. There's so many damage dealers. There's Ash. There's Nova. Who else have I been? Man, there's so many. There's healer frames. We just had Harrow come out, and there's Trinity. And then you have the only loot frame we have. The only main loot frame we have right now is Necros.
I love Necros.
Who, he desecrates corpses to force enemies to drop loot again. And one of his augmentations can use his soul punch ability to bring somebody back from being in the down state from long range, which is a lot of fun.
Can be very useful in high level.
Very. But yeah, at this point, Warframes are kind of like Pokemon. They have like 30 something now.
Gotta catch them all. Yeah.
Gotta
loads.
Probably one of my favorites Trinity is my top, but one of my main favorites right now is Equinox, because it's two Warframes in one. Its first ability is night form and day form, and you switch between them, and that determines what the next three abilities are. The day form is more about
pretty cool.
Yeah, the day form is more about like buffing your group with power, strength, and damage dealing, whereas the night form is more about crowd control and healing. So like you get basically every role in that Warframe, which is a lot of fun.
It's kind of annoying because they've got one of the downsides is they've got so many. You don't know who to pursue.
Right.
Like, do I want to go down and get Ash, or do I want to get Nidus, or who do I want?
And that's part of the I guess part of the fun too, because not only do you get to experience something new every time you get a new Warframe, but you also think that you want this Warframe and this is the only Warframe I want, but then this new one comes out and you're just like, this is freaking awesome. Then that's how Nidus was for me.
I really like Neza or Niza.
Neja, yeah.
Neja. Yeah. I really like her.
It's got a crazy slide move thing.
Yeah. The big hula hoop's pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
I like the ability that gives you basically another shield, and it's just the big hula hoop just spins around it, blocking all the bullets. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
one of my favorites.
The game can pull you in if you like having new things to experience constantly. because that's kind of how Warframe goes.
It's also a pretty good game to just jump in and out. You could
Yes.
jump in for a mission and then leave it for a day. Like, you could come home from work or whatever, play for like half an hour or 10 minutes even. You could go for a short mission and you get your loot then and go away and come back, and it's just ready to go again.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to wait in long lobbies. Like, sure, if you want to play with other players randomly, you sometimes have to wait a while, like a couple of minutes, but you could just jump in and have the option open so people can join you while you're playing.
Yeah. And they have the sorties too, which is the kind of like the daily missions, one of the daily missions. And those are the high level. You can get a Riven mod, which is like a randomly rolled status for like a random weapon, which is a lot of fun, just having like that fortune cookie mystery about it. And of course you can re-roll them if you don't like the stats on them. But doing the sortie, you can, do that like one day, and then come back the next day, and then you'll get something different. You might get, a bunch of endo instead, which is one of the upgrade materials. But those sorties take maybe, 45 minutes at the most, and the rest of your day, just kind of do whatever you want, especially if you're waiting for another Warframe to build, which is like 3 days.
Yeah. Well, technically it's a lot longer because you have to build the individual parts as well.
Yeah, but you can have them all built at once.
Unless, well, yeah, it's like a day. Or is it 2 days for each part?
I think
it might be a day for.
I think it might be just 24 hours for the, or 12 hours even for the parts, and then 3 days for the Warframe itself.
Right, and unless you use platinum,
right,
you can speed up it.
You can rush them,
make it instant.
I do not recommend rushing things though.
Yeah, and unless you've got a shit ton of money that you just want to throw away, go for it. Be my guest. You're supporting the game.
Yep.
But I'd say save your money. You can get the platinum, but I'd recommend you either use it on getting some items.
Yep.
Or some slots, preferably slots.
Yeah. And
that's your most
generally, like,
thing.
With the platinum that I get, I generally spend it on maybe 3 different things, which is boosters and item slots and catalysts or reactors. I think that's pretty much most of what I spend platinum on. Or deluxe skins, because those are amazing.
Aesthetics are not for me.
Yeah. Unless
I'd only do it if I'd only get them if I could grind up to pay with in-game money, like credits.
Yeah.
Like if it was a shit ton of credits, I'd maybe like set a high target to get myself a special skin, but I'm not going to pay real money just to make myself look a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's just not for me. Sorry.
But I like seeing, oh man, especially when the Trinity Deluxe skin came out. I wasn't a major fan with the Trinity Prime look, at least her body. So
right.
I snatched up the Trinity Deluxe skin as soon as it came out, because I was like, this looks pretty darn cool. And she doesn't have what do you call that? A lobster butt. So, because they kept the lobster tail on her for whatever reason, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Maybe they like lobsters over at Warframe.
Give her like lobster claws too, or something.
Yeah, maybe they've got a wee fetish going on there.
I don't even know. But she's a healer frame. Like that doesn't. I don't know. Maybe there's some cultural thing that I'm not aware of. But
there's probably some.
I have no connection.
Special. I'm being a little bit racist here, but there's probably some special Asian lobster that in some mythological story healed a lot of people or something like that, because a lot of the Warframes come from like Asian myth or South American myth or whatever.
I think they're all over the place.
Has there been any like Greek or Roman mythological influences yet? Or am I just being dumb? Is it obvious?
I don't know. I don't think there has. They've had Norse, obviously.
Obviously.
They've had I want to say Japanese.
They've had
or Chinese and Japanese.
Chinese, yeah. They've had Native American and South American and Central American.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some Atlantean, which I don't know. Is that really a type of myth?
Maybe. I mean, there's stories about it, so I guess.
I think it's more of a Greek. I guess Atlantean myths, Greek myth. I'm not 100% sure. It's a bit of a odd topic for me. Yeah. Not 100% sure there. Anyway, we've spoken in depth about Warframe, and hopefully we've persuaded some people to play it because it is a very good game, especially for a free-to-play game. I don't think I've experienced a free-to-play game that has held my attention so much, and I hope that some of you guys who have never heard or played Warframe before do check it out. Even if it's just a download, play for an hour, and think it's crap, go for it. But at least give it a chance. It's certainly a good game, and especially get into it now with Plains of Eidolon. Not sponsored or anything like that, I just think, and I presume Caedo does as well, think it's a good game that more people should be playing.
Even if you're playing on a budget, like this is the best game to pick up if you're playing on a budget.
It's perfect. And if more people get onto it, maybe we'll get more things like Plains of Eidolon. Maybe we'll eventually get an open world aspect on every planet.
Oh, that's such an undertaking.
That'd be
dude.
dope. That'd be so dope. But you never know. They might get a shit ton of money from this video. Like, everybody who watches this video, they're gonna blow up. We're gonna make Warframe big.
It's already in the top 10.
Yeah, it's already big. I think it is the most played free-to-play game that's not made by Valve.
Oh, like, yeah.
That's on Steam, I mean. Obviously, there's League of Legends and whatnot, but I think on Steam it's the most played free-to-play game that's not produced by Valve. Like, Dota's got Valve's name on it, Team Fortress has got Valve's name on it. I don't know if there's another one that's bigger, but yeah, it's doing well. But it needs your support. It needs more.
Yes.
It's great.
More.
It deserves it. Need to beat Dota. Need to beat Team Fortress 2.
Also at some point I do want to go to TennoCon because it looks like they have a blast there.
Where even is it?
Canada. Most of the time.
Right. Okay.
I think they did it in a couple locations this year.
I don't think I'm quite that level of a fan yet. But we'll see. So I want to thank CaedoGenesis for joining me on this. I'm not even sure if this is a podcast anymore.
Just
chat shit with some people that I know.
Session type thing.
Yeah, it's just a discussion session. So this episode was all about Warframe. Next week, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed because it's coming out soon. But we've got 2 new people on there. But CaedoGenesis has his own YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. There should be a link in the description below. You want to plug your Twitter?
Oh, yeah, Caedo_Genesis. I don't use it as often as I should.
Okay, well, make sure to follow him. Make sure to check him out. He's got some... Did you still do Deus Ex videos as well as Fallout and whatnot?
No, the Deus Ex series is actually done.
Right, okay. I remember you talking about... Anyway, he did some long... I heard they were very long to make videos.
It was mainly me complaining about it. That was the longest part. That I did the collectibles guides for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, so that's like the triangle codes and whatnot. But I mainly have done Bethesda games, so Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim guides, but just about everything you can collect in those games to some degree I've covered. But it's mainly going towards the Let's Play type content because it's a lot easier to produce right now. And also, my roommate and I are playing Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, the best Fallout game of all time.
Oh, that's Fallout 4, the best one.
Yeah, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
It's tough between Brotherhood of Steel and Fallout 4 at the moment for me.
Oh man, that's a very unfair comparison. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name is Andrew or Stalli111, and make sure to join us next week and check out any other videos I've done. Bye bye.
Bye bye.